Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
Hello, Ann Varner.
Hello, Karen Devaney.
Happy New Year.
Whoop, whoop.
2021. Whoop, whoop.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
Me neither.
But I see now, yes.
Well, and I mean, kind of, we could call this season 2. Because we
Yeah.
did take a little bit of a breaky poo.
We did.
So we could call this season 2. I just don't know how to make it season 2 because I am not tech savvy.
Right.
So, and it sounds like we've got a motorcycle in the background. That's nothing new for
I can shut
2021.
my door. You
No,
want me to shut
I
the
need
door?
the fresh air.
Yeah, it's beautiful here in
Gorgeous here.
Charleston today, y'all.
Gorge.
Beautiful.
It is gorge for a January 3rd.
Yes.
Because 2 years ago, we had a snowstorm. 3 years ago.
In 2018.
Yes, we had a snowstorm on this day in history. Speaking of in this day in history, my kids got me the coolest calendar ever because they know me, and it's a murder, this day in history murder calendar.
No way.
Every single day there is a something that's related to true crime.
Wow.
And today, on September 3rd, in 2014, a man named Tommy Lynn Sells was executed for the murder of 9-year-old Mary Perez. That is this day in history for true crime.
All right, wow.
This day in murder history.
Murder.
Yes, so I hear some noise in the back. There's some action in
There's
the background.
noise. I'm in the kitchen today.
Someone's in the kitchen with Andy. Someone's in the kitchen. I know. You don't know.
No one's in.
You don't know.
Okay.
They could be creeping up behind you right now.
Boo! So I'm trying something I never tried before in a machine I've never used before. So.
And let's just say that this machine was given to me by my daughter's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Woo!
Happy New Year!
Somebody shot me! I told you. Anyway, he did so good. He bought my husband and I this Ninja Foodie.
It's the Ninja Foodie Grill.
It's cyclonic grilling, which sounds all high-tech to me, and it has an air fryer. And now Annie is going to put the air fryer through its maiden voyage.
I am. I'm going to do air fryer donuts.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yes, and because we're drinking, I wanted to keep my recipe very simple.
Yes, we're drinking Bloody Marys, y'all.
So I'm
Nothing
doing
new.
air fryer donuts made out of biscuit, like already done biscuit dough.
Oh, like biscuits in a can.
Biscuits in a can, yeah.
I love
And I
a can
use the
biscuit.
Grand's flaky layers. I did the butter one because, everything's
love
better with butter.
Butter makes it better.
So that pop that you heard was me popping the can of biscuits.
Well, that's really cool. So if this thing works out, it would be a really great, fun, get up on a Saturday morning and make donuts for your kids in the air fryer kind of a recipe.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. I can't wait to try it.
Yeah. I mean, you got
What flavor are they?
So these are going to be brown sugar and cinnamon.
Oh, I love that combo.
But you can do anything. You can do a little glaze with powdered sugar and vanilla.
You can even add a little squeeze of fresh lemon to that, make it a lemon glaze.
You could do pretty much anything you wanted.
Any freaking thing. You can add tequila.
You could do a maple
tequila glaze.
A maple bourbon.
Maple. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. There's the bourbon in that.
That's right. That's right. Bourbon up in there. So
we'll
your
see what
dog
happens.
seems to be just as stressed out today as he was last year.
Yeah, 2021 hadn't done much for him.
Oh well.
He's had his calm medicine, so
hopefully it'll kick in at least by the end.
He'll settle in.
He'll settle in about the time we wrap this up.
Well, when we switch, I'll end up holding him.
I know you will.
He'll stop his business. But.
Stop your business. All right, well, tell us what you're doing in there.
Okay, so I've opened my can of biscuits.
We heard.
And I am now cutting holes in my donuts.
That means you can make donut holes too.
Yes. Yes. So, and
I say you give the kids the holes and make bourbon donuts out of the almonds.
Yeah. Actually, I prefer the holes to the larger donut.
All right, we'll just dip them holes in bourbon.
So I have a biscuit cutter set, and it comes with like the little tiny thing to make tiny biscuits, and that's what I use to cut my holes. But you could use like a shot glass if you wanted to use that as
if you're shooting bourbon
whole
anyway, you
bunch
might as well
shot
just
of bourbon,
tip that thing over and cut a hole out and then put some bourbon in it. There you go. Very good.
Just whatever you have.
Yeah.
I don't really have much of a recipe per se. As far as
just
the toppings,
process?
it's the process that I'm looking at.
So what do? You just put them in the air fryer just like they are? Like you cut them and then you just fry them in the air fryer? Or do you put anything on them first?
You're going to put them... Oh, you're going to put them in, and then when they come, as they're getting ready to come out, you're going to open it up and brush them with melted butter, and then you take it out and dunk it in your mixture of stuff.
Shut your mouth right now.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Girl.
So anyway, I've got this whole air fryer thing going.
Man, that is fancy stuff over there.
Yeah.
Fancy.
I'm going to spray a little cooking spray.
Because that's allowed.
It is allowed. They say don't use olive oil.
Okay.
In your Ninja, so I did not. Mine's a butter cooking spray.
I love a butter.
And you set your air fryer to 350 degrees.
Okay.
That should make them flaky. Well, I don't know. I've never done a thing like this.
It's just, what? It's fun. This is what you do in the kitchen, and this is what we do. Yeah. We just get in there and try crap, and then when it turns out, we're like, we knew this was going to work.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I'm going to set my little timer here.
And you got 4 at a time?
5 minutes. I put in 4. You can put in more. I just didn't want to put mine close together.
No, I don't blame you.
Just in case.
In case they rise or spread.
So, there we go. 5 minutes.
My butt did over 2020.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Oh, Lordy. Okay, well, while you're doing all that.
I don't know what y'all did over the holidays. This is another reason I picked this recipe. Is I'm freaking tired of cooking.
Yeah, she cooked. She, bless her heart, because I still am the one-armed bandit. She did all of my holiday baking for me and my people. So I would go buy the ingredients, 90% of them.
Right.
And then send it up with her and let her know what I was looking for. And then she'd bring down, what she made for my people. Because I had people, but I didn't have a lot of people.
No, not too many.
But
I felt like I cooked enough for an army.
Well, I got to tell you, my husband ate the last of the Oreo truffles last night. And he's been having at least 4 a day every day.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
They are such a huge hit with our family.
They've been a huge hit, and they always will be a huge hit. And they always ask, why is it that we only get these at Christmas?
Because they're such a pain.
And they're so bad for you.
Well, yeah. It's crushed up Oreos with cream cheese, and then you dip them in white chocolate.
I mean, my God, you might as well deep fry it after that. So we've had lots of goodies, and thankfully they're almost all gone out of my house.
Yes.
So, but somehow he keeps finding some. Like, all of a sudden he's eating something. I'm like, what are you eating? And he's like, oh, it's just a cookie. It's still left over. Where did you get that? I mean, it was just right here, but I guess I'm just not looking for it.
Yeah, I mean, we made sugar and spice covered pecans.
Those were the best.
The homemade from scratch crinkle cookies.
Yes, with the devil's food cake mix.
Yes, and then we did an oatmeal cherry. We've done that recipe before. The oatmeal cherry brown sugar cookies, and then we did a peanut butter cookie with a chocolate kiss.
Yeah, those were my favorite.
Yeah.
Except I got tired of the kisses and would take the kiss off, put it on the plate, and then eat the cookie, and then my daughter's boyfriend would come along and say, oh, somebody dropped their kiss off their cookie, I'm eating it, which I would just be like, I meant to do that. I was like, oh, look at you found a treasure.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
And then the Oreo truffles. So there was plenty of sweets.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, for dessert, we had Brandy Alexander's.
Oh, some of my faves
are just the best thing in the world.
And I don't understand why we only have those at the holidays.
Because they're a pain.
They're not that much of a pain.
Well, you have to use a blender.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the recipe, you can find a recipe where instead of ice cream, you use heavy cream.
Yes, I did see that Sweetwater did on their Monday Mixology.
Yes, and that's delightful.
And it would be delightful.
But we do ours like a milkshake.
With vanilla ice cream.
Right.
And we also shave not
white
just
chocolate.
nutmeg, but we put a little bit of white chocolate on top of it. We shave a white chocolate
bar.
And that really kind of spruces it up too. So, yeah, we really have huge holiday.
We don't suffer.
We don't suffer through the holidays, guys.
And it was perfect for me because I gave up the carbs. So I would make stuff and take it down to your place. So it wouldn't be here for me to be tempted, you know. And I made enough of it that by the end I was like, get it out of my face.
I know. Well, you feel like you've eaten it because you really have smelled it the whole time. So.
But I did treat myself to that Brandy Alexander, and it was
totally
delicious.
Worth it. I know. Yeah. Well, I've got a whole other thing of ice cream in my freezer, and I think you
still
have one in your
ice cream
freezer.
In mine, yeah.
So we're going to have to
do it again.
Some more.
Yeah, because now I'm also trying. So I've still given up the carbs, but I'm not. It's not like a keto situation. I'm just not eating carbs. And then, but if I feel like I need to eat a carb, I'll eat a carb. I just won't go crazy with it.
No.
So a friend of ours over the weekend though told us about intermittent fasting.
Yes.
And that seems to have been very successful for her. So I'm going to try this no carb thing and the intermittent fasting. So see what happens.
Yeah.
So I'll feel less guilty about having the Brandy Alexander as long as I get it within that 8-hour window
of just have it at noon.
Right. And we do that.
And we're completely fine with that.
It's 2:00 in the afternoon and we're having Bloody Marys.
Big old Bloody Marys. These are not little. These are not. These are like a double Bloody Mary.
Well, yeah.
I mean, please, we deserve it.
Exactly.
Okay, shut up.
Oh my God.
On with the show.
On with the show.
On with the murder.
Talk about what you got.
Okay, so I have a murder.
Did you kill somebody?
I did not.
Good.
Nope. That I'm willing to talk about. So this happened in Seattle, Washington, which I don't think that we've done a Washington murder, have we?
Gosh,
I don't think we've covered Washington State.
I think we have.
You think so?
I do.
Well, I'll have to go back and look, but if not, we've not done it very often.
Hopefully we haven't done this one.
I know for sure we haven't. So this all takes place in July of 1967. You weren't even born yet.
No, I was not even a wee babe.
No. So at that point, I was totally the favorite daughter at that point because I was the only daughter.
Right.
20-year-old Susan Galvin was new in town, and she was the oldest of 8 children in her family from Spokane, and she had moved to the big old city of Seattle a year before.
Oh.
She had taken a job with the Seattle Police Department as a records clerk. And one night, Susan did not show up for work.
Oh, no.
Her body was found in an elevator in the parking garage of the Seattle Center, which is where the police department was located.
Wait, in the elevator?
It was in the elevator of the parking garage.
Oh, my Lord.
That was for the Seattle Center, which was like a big government building, which is where the police department was located.
Wow.
Yeah. That's just dumb. Don't murder people on the property of the police. That's not nice.
That's not nice.
It's just not nice.
I guess
it's really not.
Less.
You would think she'd be safe there.
You would think she'd be safe there, and you would think that maybe, I don't know. I don't know.
So police surmised, because I like that word.
Yeah.
She was on her way to work when she was attacked.
Oh.
She was sexually assaulted and strangled to death in the elevator.
They think that happened in the dang elevator?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
In the elevator of the parking garage of where she worked at the police department.
Wow.
Hello. So, back then, the concept of DNA was 20 years in the future.
Right.
So the police really did not treat the crime scene the way they would have done today, but they did collect some DNA from Susan's clothing.
Okay.
Officers dedicated many, many hours of work interviewing people in the area and searching for clues. She was one of theirs.
Well, not only that, it happened on their watch.
Happened on their property, on their watch, and she was one of theirs.
Right.
She worked with them. They knew her.
Right.
So this was incredibly important to them. Witnesses said she had been seen in the company of a professional clown a few days earlier.
No.
Creepy.
Why? The question is why?
I don't know. My question is, this professional clown, does he walk around town in his professional clown makeup?
Oh my God.
And if he's fraternizing at that time with Susan, isn't he fraternizing on the job?
I don't know.
Like, who knows he's a professional clown? How do you know this?
Right.
So it's kind of weird. So
a little creepy.
Just a few days after her murder, the clown quit his job and
Oh.
moved out of the area.
Oh, well, that
So
seems right.
lots of suspicion surrounded Mr. Clown for years, but there was never enough evidence to arrest him.
Right.
Eventually, her case went cold, but it was never forgotten.
I'm sure.
No, that was very important to them to work on that, to solve it. She had a police department employee serial number.
Oh.
So, that was important to them. And they had her employee number up on her poster on the cold case file so that people knew when they looked at it, she's one of ours. Like, she worked with us.
Right.
So, like I said, it went cold. So we're going to fast forward to 2016.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mr. Clown is found living in Utah. Okay?
Okay.
At this point, DNA is on the scene. Science, we've developed, and we can do the DNA thing.
Right.
So they go and they find him and they collect his DNA, compared it to the preserved DNA that had been collected from Susan's clothing. And they said that even though DNA was not a thing, whoever collected this DNA did such an incredibly expert job that all of that DNA was completely viable.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Yeah. And they didn't know what they were collecting it for back then. They just collected it.
Right.
So it was 100% viable. So anyway.
A miracle. It's just a plain
Isn't that
old miracle.
I just feel like that was meant to be.
Oh yeah. Serendipity.
That too. So when the results come back, Mr. Clown, he was exonerated.
Oh, didn't do it.
He was no longer a suspect. So
Oh.
this man had been living under a cloud of suspicion, knowing the whole time he didn't do it, but no way to 100% prove to anybody that he didn't do it.
Right.
So now in 2016, he's officially taken off the suspect list and he can go live his life knowing that he has proof that he did not do this to this woman.
Right.
So, poor guy, that must have been really tough to live all those years knowing that people suspected him of killing this girl.
Yeah.
So, now, in 2018, enter the solving of the cases of the Golden State Killer.
Oh.
That was in the spring of 2018 that they started using the ancestral DNA
Right.
to start solving the Golden State Killer cases, right?
Yes.
So now this method of ancestral DNA shines hope on Susan's case. And her case was at the top of Seattle's priority list for cases to try to solve using this method.
Oh.
So, the suspect's DNA from her clothing is then sent to Parabon. We've heard of this place before. And then enter our hero, our
CeCe
mentor,
Moore.
someone on the top of the list of people that I want to meet and be besties with,
Oh, yeah.
CeCe Moore. So I cannot get enough of this woman.
I know.
I'm just telling you.
She's amazing.
She is, and I don't know why she is not winning some kind of a Nobel Crime Prize or
Yes.
on
She should have
People's
been
Magazine for the she
on
should
Time
be Time
Magazine's-
Magazine's Person of the
Oh,
Century.
yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? She is completely. She's turning over what unsolved cases left and right.
Yeah.
I mean, she's
amazing.
just a genius, and I gotta tell you, if we ever met her, you know she wants to be friends with us.
Oh, yeah.
She could use friends like us.
She has no idea how much she just has no idea how much she needs.
We
to
just
be a friend.
need that serendipity to line up so that she can meet us.
Yes.
So if anybody out there listening knows CeCe, please have her reach out to us immediately
Oh, yeah.
so that we can get on with our lives.
Yes.
So
Yes.
through her genius and the use of this DNA profile that Parabon developed, she was able to identify a suspect.
Really?
She developed a family tree
Oh,
that
love
eventually
it.
led to a man who had been born in Seattle, who was 26 years old at the time of Susan's killing,
Oh.
and he was a soldier in
Really?
the military.
Oh, man.
His name, Frank Whippich.
Whippich.
Wypych. That's a fun name, I'm just going to say.
Whippich, real good.
So a cousin of Whippich was asked to provide her DNA to test the validity of the family tree. Once that DNA matched up, they were able to get a warrant to go and find Frankie Boy.
We're coming for you, Frankie Boy.
Well, they found him.
Oh.
13 miles away from the crime scene, Frank was laying in a cemetery.
Uh-oh.
He had died in 1987 from complications from diabetes. He got the diabetica.
He got the diabetica.
Yeah, and I can only hope that he suffered.
Yeah.
So police exhume his body and send his bones to a DNA lab for testing, and the results come back as a 100% match.
Oh, so it was for sure.
100%.
Wow.
Like, there's no question.
No question.
No question.
He did it.
Yes, so he left his DNA, which we know what that DNA was, on Susan's clothes. Gotcha, you filthy animal. We got you little shithead.
Yeah.
Even though you're laying in the ground, you cannot escape CeCe Moore.
No.
You cannot.
No.
You can hide, you can die, but we will find you. So, 52 years after losing his sister to a horrific tragedy, Larry Galvin got a call from Seattle police letting him know they had finally solved the murder case of his sister. He was only 8 years old when he lost his sister. And he said he was so grateful to everyone that helped find the who in this mystery, but he said he will always live with the why.
Yeah.
But police think it was just a random attack, and unfortunately Susan was in the right place at the wrong time.
Aww.
Which the right place at the wrong time was, hello, I parked my car and got on the elevator to go to my freaking job at the freaking police department.
Right.
So that's bullshit. That's not the wrong time. That's just, that she didn't do anything wrong. No. It was the asshole that did this to her.
Yes.
So the reason that I picked this case is so far, this is the oldest murder case in the U.S. that has used the method of ancestral DNA to solve.
I just am so excited about
Go, CeCe, go.
About
CeCe,
what
go.
they're doing with that.
Me too.
About all of the unsolved
I just love it.
crimes that we're going to find the answers to.
I know. And I mean, CeCe Moore, she needs to be wearing a cape.
She should.
She should
I
wear
bet
a
she
cape.
does. She might.
Maybe we should make her one.
Maybe.
And we should send it to her.
We should. Get on it.
I'm gonna, as soon as my arm heals enough for me to sew.
Okay.
Then we'll get on it. So anyway, that is the murder mystery that was solved by CeCe Moore and Parabon and Who's-He What's-It. And yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
52 years it took to solve that case. And here that man was laying in a grave 13 miles away from where he did it.
And he died when he was...
let's see, in 1987. So he was 26 and 67. So he died when he was 46.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah, I know. I mean, hopefully he didn't do this to anybody else. They have not... I mean, of course, they've registered his DNA into the database and everything. They've not found any other matches.
To find that out.
Can you imagine? And he probably, because he was a soldier, he was probably buried with military honors.
Oh.
So I think that should be stripped of him, to be honest, but that's not my call.
No.
But yeah, can you imagine finding out your dad or your uncle or your brother did this horrible crime that you read about in the papers? It was so horrific and nobody knew who it was for all those years, and then it turns out it was him.
Ugh.
That'd be difficult to live.
It's awful.
So that's kind of the reason that the ACLU is trying to block the use of ancestral DNA, because they're saying that it's impinging on the rights of the family members. But I'm sorry. Well, of course. But I just feel
what about
like
the members of the family of the person who was
I agree, and I think when you're a victim, your rights have to be more than the perpetrator.
Yeah.
I think that when you become the perpetrator, you give up the rights to privacy, and therefore privacy of your family if you're going to be a jerk and not tell anybody you did it.
Well,
I mean, had they caught him when
family?
Not at all. Not at all. And had they caught him when he was still alive and gone to trial, his family would have been in the spotlight anyway. So what's the difference?
Right.
You shouldn't get rewarded because you died before they found out who you were.
Right.
So get out of here with all that talk.
Right.
So anyway, how are donuts going?
I personally think they're an epic fail.
Oh no. Can you let me be the judge of that?
Yes,
okay.
I will.
Why?
Because the first batch, I feel like they overcooked. They're a little brown.
Yeah, but sometimes cake donuts are brown.
Brown sugar doesn't stick well to donuts. So the second
Even though
batch,
you buttered them?
Yeah. The second batch, I did the holes.
Okay.
And that's just cinnamon and sugar. And I dipped them in butter.
Oh.
And it stuck better.
Okay, so maybe I should taste both. A first batch and a second batch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll just have to tell me which
That's
one's
the
better.
darkest donut on the plate.
Okay. Well, I'm still we'll share a picture of it just because people need to know.
So this has the flaky layers and it immediately flaked apart.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that one, if I did it again, would go less.
Less time and don't use the flaky layers.
But that's what they tell you to use.
I don't give a shit.
Like every single recipe for air fryer donut says flaky layers.
Well, I'm telling you, they're falling apart.
Well, try the little one.
But I gotta tell you, that's good taste.
The taste is good. Okay. Well, that's good to know.
So it's not an epic fail.
Okay.
It just needs a little tweaking.
Right.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of cinnamon sugar.
Yeah, I know.
Just a minute.
I feel like the consistency of the second batch might be better.
Definitely better. And really, really good. Very tasty, but I missed the brown sugar.
Oh, okay.
So
I may do another thing of holes, but do the brown sugar. And do them at the same time I did the holes. How's that sound?
I wonder if you could dip it in butter, then brown sugar, then the cinnamon sugar.
Maybe. And try it.
But I got the first one was definitely, and maybe if it's not so overcooked, it won't be, like the layers won't separate.
Right.
Because they didn't separate with the holes.
Right.
But, I mean, yum. I've got no problems.
Listen, if I got people over and I need to cook something really fast and easy that's not going to really mess my kitchen up terribly,
That's perfect.
this is going to be my go-to.
Yeah. Do you remember that Mama used to get up and make, every once in a while, like in a blue moon, she used to get the green can biscuits because that's all we had back then.
Right.
And she used to put holes in them and do them with her finger.
Oh, yeah.
And then she would dip them in the hot grease. Like she would fry them in hot grease and then put them in the, she did a milk and sugar glaze, I think.
She was a smart lady.
She was. I can remember her doing those. And I want to say she might have done them when we camped every once in a while.
Oh.
In the black frying pan on the Coleman stove.
That sounds about like what she would do.
Yeah, these are good, Sugar.
I'm glad.
Ain't got no problems with them.
Good.
All right.
So, all right. Well, we'll take a little pause. I'll finish the rest of these suckers off, and then I'll talk to you about a murder I have. I got a murder.
Girl, I know you do. Sounds supremely great. And
continue eating, and I'll
finish all these donuts. All right, hold on, y'all.
We're back.
Hello. Hey. Hi.
Hey there.
We are back.
Hey there. Hi there. Ho there. You're as welcome as can be. What is that from?
I think it's Barney.
Oh,
You're having a Barney
Barney.
flashback.
Barney.
Oh my God! Did you do acid?
God. Oh, Lord.
Do you see all things purple?
Barney, leave me alone.
That is funny.
I don't know why
Creepy.
it just came to me. Yeah.
Creepy.
Speaking of creepy.
Oh, yes, I got a murder. And our last fan suggestion for a state to do was from our friend Jessie.
Hey, Jessie.
And she picked Georgia.
Because she's from Georgia.
And she knew the devil went down to Georgia.
That's what I hear.
And he made some trouble while he was down there.
He was looking for a soul to steal.
Well, he found
He was in a
more
bind.
than one.
He was in a bind.
I know. It's fun.
That's not how the story goes.
No, it didn't turn out okay.
It's okay, because Jessie, she's in Georgia.
I know.
And so
She's good.
it must not be a bad place.
No, I've been to Georgia quite a few times. It's not too bad.
Not too bad.
I don't blame Georgia.
And I don't blame Jessie.
Oh my God.
Jessie, don't worry, we don't blame you.
No, we don't blame you for this one.
But we love you.
Yeah.
Because you're our best friends.
You're
one of our
many.
150-some best friends.
I think we're in the 60s.
Shut your
I
mouth.
think we're at 163 or
Don't
something.
even lie to me. Don't
Well,
lie
I
to
don't
me.
have my phone close to me, but
I
I'm not lying.
I'm going to see. you start, I'll see how many friends we really have.
All right. So the year is 1996.
Okay.
We're in Dekalb County, Georgia, which is
Ooh.
in Decatur, Georgia.
Decatur, DeKalb,
Yeah.
DeMurder.
And it's weird because it's Dekalb, but it's Dekalb.
Yeah.
So you
like
think it's Dekalb,
or Dekalb.
but that's not how they say it.
DeKalb, Decatur,
So-
DeMurder.
I'm going to talk about DeMurder and Dekalb.
Okie dokie.
And there's big change getting ready to happen. There's an election for sheriff, and it starts to heat up.
Sheriff.
There has been a lot of corruption in the sheriff's department.
Breaking news. 163.
Wow. We have 160.
But that includes you and me.
Oh.
So it's 161.
But I'm your friend, and you're my friend. So
I know, but-
162.
Okay. Fine. Whatever. Okay, go ahead and DeKalb and DeKalb.
Indicate. Dekalb. Stop it. Don't mess me up. All right. So there's been a lot of corruption. People are looking for change.
Okay.
There are 5 people running for sheriff. One of them is Sydney Dorsey.
Okay.
Okay? Sydney Dorsey is also running against... So Sydney Dorsey, let me talk to you about Sydney Dorsey. This will help. Sydney Dorsey really made a name for himself in that community because he was part of the homicide investigation team that investigated the Atlanta child murders.
Wow.
So he had a big role in that whole thing.
Okay.
So he is very well respected, and his wife was a city council person, so he had a lot of ties to that political type community.
Mm-hmm.
So also running for office is the beloved police chief, and his name was Derwin Brown. Derwin Brown.
Okay. We got Derwin and Sydney.
Sydney and Derwin.
Okay.
Yep. And Derwin and Sydney.
Yeah. Seems like it.
Mr. Brown and Mr. Dorsey.
Okay.
That's what we got.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Brown believed that if you wanted to see change, you needed to start from the inside. So his big campaign was, I'm cleaning it up. Like, I'm going to get in there and clean up some corruption.
Okay.
There had been FBI probes, GBI probes, like Georgia Bureau of Investigation. Yeah. And he knew that there needed to be a lot of cleanup. But Mr. Dorsey was a well-established person in the community, and he had a long history with that office being a homicide detective. So they were really the two tight contenders. The election took place 1996, and Sydney Dorsey won the election.
Okay.
He became the first black sheriff of DeKalb.
All right. Look at him.
How about that?
Yes.
So Derwin Brown was very supportive of Sydney Dorsey, and he really hoped that Dorsey would clean up the corruption that had been going on
Okay.
in the sheriff's office.
And Mr. Brown was the sheriff already. He was the sheriff before.
No, the sheriff that was already there, he's out, gone. See
He's
you
gone.
later.
Okay.
Mr. Brown was the police chief.
Oh, that's right. The
Right.
police chief. I knew there was a connection.
Yeah, he the police chief.
Popo.
Right. So, unfortunately, about a year into the term in the sheriff's office, Sydney Dorsey hadn't been living up to the hopes the community had for cleaning up that corruption. And it seemed that Mr. Dorsey was, in fact, adding to the corruption by using his power to hire people, like friends of his, that weren't properly vetted. So he didn't make them go through all of the channels that you were supposed to go through to make sure you were qualified.
You got to go through the channels. You can't just get your friends and family jobs.
Well, that's exactly what he was doing.
Right, but political positions are not made for that, and I think it should be illegal.
I agree. So he's very clearly profiting from his professional role as on a personal level.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's time for re-election, they have an election every 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for re-election. It's 2000. Mr. Dorsey makes it clear he's going to run again. Like I'm here to stay.
Okay.
But Derwin Brown says, I can't stand by and continue to watch this happen in my community.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a lot of support within the community.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Dorsey has a lot of support in the religious and political community.
Okay.
So it's like really tight between.
Tight race.
Yeah. But Mr. Brown's the underdog, and everybody knew that he didn't have a snowball's chance in hell to win the election.
Oh, not a snowball.
No.
Or a snowball's chance in South Carolina.
He never gave up. He went door to door. He made his speeches. He really talked to a lot of people. So when that vote came in, it was actually July 18th of 2000. The voting polls closed. Everyone's waiting for the results.
Mm-hmm.
When the votes are counted, there is no clear winner. So no one had a majority in Georgia. Isn't that funny? Because that's kind of what we're doing right now, is it not?
Not funny at all. The irony is smacking me about the head and face.
Right. That's what I thought when I was reading this. So when you don't have a clear winner, like there's no clear majority winner, you have what's called a runoff election.
Yes, but can't we just settle it with the chicken wishbone?
We cannot.
Like it would just be quick, easy, done.
Right.
You got the long bone, you got short bone, you're in, you're out. That's
I know,
done.
but then people are going to be like, oh, but you picked that turkey and you did something to that bone, or there's
flip
always
a coin.
that seems better.
Yeah.
But then people are going to be like, what'd you do to that coin?
No, you know what we need is a round robin of hopscotch.
Mm.
And that way you've got a clear winner.
I think you just have a duel, a gentleman's duel.
And either you live or you die.
That's
And
right.
if you die, you're not it.
That's right.
You're just not it.
Let's go back to the olden days. Gentleman's duel.
Whatever happened to all those gentlemen?
I call it.
Dang it. Oh.
So, that means that in August, they're going to do a runoff election. So, they do the runoff, and Derwin Brown wins.
Oh, the underdog.
Sidney Dorsey is out.
You out?
You out. So, his wife and children, he had 5 children.
Oh, that's
They
a
were
lot.
all so excited.
Oh, wait,
and-
I thought you meant the guy that's out had 5 children.
No.
I was like, well, that's a lot of kids to have to move out of wherever you're living. But
Right.
I was thinking he was in the governor's mansion.
No,
he's
this is
not.
just the sheriff.
He's in the sheriff's mansion.
And he's just Sidney Dorsey. He's not happy. He's mad. He's like, what?
I
What the
remember,
hell?
I don't remember, but I remember when Daddy ran for town council.
Oh, gosh.
And he lost, and he was real mad.
He was real mad.
He was real mad.
As a matter of fact, Mr. Dorsey refused to concede the election.
Oh, stop it, Ann Varner.
What?
Why? Why this one? Why
It's
this
just
one?
the craziest thing. I didn't know
just
any of these things until I
Almost
started
like history
researching.
can repeat itself at times.
Yes, that's why when people are saying this never happens, it's not true. It happens.
a lot.
And then you deal with it and you move on. That's the only point. That's the only point of the whole entire story. You deal with it and you move on.
Oh.
That's not what happens here.
Well, I have a feeling it didn't because it's a murder podcast,
That's
not a
right.
politics podcast.
Exactly. So, Mr. Brown starts to get to work like right away. The next day, he's starting to prepare, taking over the office. He knows there's corruption going on. So he immediately goes to the DA and orders an audit of the Dekalb County jail.
Oh, the jail.
Of the jail. Now that's what
'Cause that's the
the
sheriff
sheriff's
has jurisdiction.
domain, right?
Yeah.
And as the audit gets underway, some people start coming out of the woodwork to talk to the DA about things they suspect are not okay. A lady from payroll comes in. A person from payroll comes in.
God, you done got her all. Like this woman, she's packing her bags and heading for the hills right now. She's like, I'm out of here.
I'm out.
I'm going to
I'm
Scotland.
called out. No. Actually, I say that because I didn't investigate as to whether it was a male or a female that came forward.
Okay.
So this person comes forward and she says, I need to talk to you. Oh, darn it. And it says, and they say,
just stop.
I'm terrible with
It's
the
a
pronouns.
female.
I really don't know.
Well, why do you keep saying she?
I don't know because I don't know. It just fits right. I honestly don't know.
Let's call it Trout.
This person comes
Trout.
forward and says, I need to talk to you about Patrick Cuffey.
Okay.
Cuffey, not Duffy. Cuffey.
And not coffee.
And not Coffee. That's right. Patrick Cuffey is a sheriff's deputy, and he's Mr. Dorsey's right-hand man.
And he is a man.
So, yes.
Don't have any problems with that pronoun.
The payroll informant told the DA that Mr. Cuffey's overtime was breaking the payroll system. And that breaking it. Now, Mr. Cuffey is the second highest paid person on the payroll in the sheriff's department, one step behind the sheriff.
Damn.
Okay? He's making so much overtime right now that his overtime is more than double his salary.
Oh yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, well, we need to start making a list.
I hope he's been putting that money into savings.
They found
and not spending it because he might need to pay it back.
Right. They found a lot of people that were milking the system.
Oh gosh.
So a few weeks before taking office, Derwin Brown makes a list of employees that he is going to fire when he takes office.
Oh, he's got a hit list.
And he distributes it.
Well, that's not nice.
No, his thought process was, they know I'm coming. They know I'm cleaning up. I'm going to give them notice.
Okay.
So they have time to look for other jobs. It's not just going to be, you come to work on Monday, you're fired, you're out. You know I'm coming for you. You're going to be fired. Find another job.
Okay.
That was his thought process.
Okay.
Okay.
I can see the thought process, but I don't know that the delivery was especially the right way to go.
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. Anyway, of course, it doesn't go over well with the department, and everyone's all riled up about it. But life must go on. So in order for you to become sheriff, you have to go to Sheriff Academy.
I didn't even know there was one. Can we go?
I don't know, but
Can only people that are going to be sheriffs, or just people that want to learn how to be a sheriff?
I don't know. We might need to look into it.
I'm going to look into that.
Let's see what to know.
I sure will, because that would be fun to go to.
It might be.
I mean, I would take leave to go to Sheriff Academy.
Yeah. My gosh, how fun would that be?
I mean, I would be that resume builder.
Holy
Graduate
cow.
from Sheriff Academy.
Yeah, come on.
Girl.
So he goes, Mr. Brown goes off to Sheriff Academy and takes all of his classes, and he graduates 2 days before his inauguration.
Okay.
So he graduates on December 15th, 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a huge night. His kids are there. His wife is there. They're all excited. And it's also his wife's birthday.
Oh,
so they're having like a humongous celebration.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's like disco ball worthy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So after the big celebration, after the graduation, Mr. Brown's wife, her name was Phyllis, takes the kids and she heads back to the house.
Okay.
Mr. Brown's got to finish a few things up, and he's going to meet her back at the house.
Mr. Brown is going to meet her at the house.
At the house.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Going to meet her at the house.
Mm-hmm.
So they all go back to the house. They've got a surprise for him for his graduation at about 11 o'clock. Mr. Brown pulls into his driveway.
Mm-hmm.
He gets out of the car. And he's got roses because he stopped off and bought Phyllis roses for her birthday.
Yes, that's so sweet.
So
Good
sweet.
job,
Way
dude.
to go. He's walking to his door when someone approaches him and opens fire.
No.
Phyllis hears the noise and calls the police and looks outside, and she sees it's her husband on the ground.
Oh my gosh.
So she runs outside to help him. Derwin Brown was shot 12 times. And he bled out in his driveway before help could get to him.
That's so awful.
Come
on, people.
He had been assassinated.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's don't do this stuff.
Right. Now it's up to the investigators to figure out what the hell.
I got it.
Because Miss Brown was just waiting in her house. You know, she's just reading a book, watching TV, whatever.
Mm.
And this takes place. Just ridiculous.
On her birthday.
On her birthday. 2 days before his inauguration.
That's not good.
Right. Based on the number of shell casings at the scene, investigators determined that there had been more than one shooter. As police are combing the crime scene, investigators go to check on Sidney Dorsey because they're like, somebody's out for the sheriff. You know, we got problems. So they go check on him. He's all right. He's good.
Okay.
He's been at home with his wife all night. He's good. So the investigators decided to take a look at the list of people who were going to lose their job when Mr. Brown took office.
Yeah.
They were all now potential suspects.
Sure.
And they start with Mr. Dorsey's right-hand man, Mr. Cuffey.
Mr. Coffee.
Cuffey said he'd been hanging out with some other deputies when Mr. Brown was murdered. Investigators ran into dead ends with every person on that list. Everybody had an alibi.
Really?
Everybody had an alibi.
I know, but Sugar, something I have learned along the way is murderers lie.
Really?
They do.
I can't imagine why.
Not only do they lie, but they lie so convincingly that you believe them.
Right.
Like it's the craziest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure about these alibis.
Right. Well, unfortunately, there's no murder weapon. The only thing they have are shell casings.
Okay, but they can figure out. I mean, a murder weapon exists.
A murder weapon exists. They don't know where it is.
Okay.
There are no fingerprints. There's no DNA at the scene.
Well, it's obvious that the
Nothing.
man didn't kill himself.
But what do? They called in the GBI.
That's why it's called an investigation.
And they call in the FBI. And it turns into the largest investigation in that area since the Atlanta child murders.
Wow.
Yep, but months pass and they find nothing. Then one day, the investigators get a call about a shootout that was taking place at Patrick Cuffey's yard, in his yard.
A
Like there was a shootout, right. Patrick Cuffey, see what happened when Mr. Brown was killed. I believe Mr. Dorsey thought that he would continue on his role until they had a new election.
Yeah,
But that's not how that happened. That's not what happened.
What happened?
An interim
I would
sheriff
think
came
was
in.
appointed.
Right.
Yeah.
Came in and took office. And then the election happened and Mr. Dorsey still didn't win. And Patrick Cuffey didn't get to keep his job. They still did the cleanup. Right.
Right.
So...
so whoever did this, if they were on that list, they're stupid.
Right.
Because they thought, I'm going to kill this man and we're just going to all go back to being fat, dumb, and happy.
Exactly.
And that's dumb and fat and happy.
Well, evidently, Patrick Cuffey turned into the drug business. So he couldn't find another job, I guess. So he turned
Well, he was too expensive.
to the drug business and he
People
got
were like, we cannot
into
afford you.
a shootout with another drug dealer in his yard.
Oh my God.
And that drug dealer was killed. He was not the one that killed him, but that drug dealer was killed. And Mr. Cuffey, because it was his property, got arrested for murder.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he gets hauled down to the police station.
Oh, hello.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got Mr. Cuffey in custody, and he's being charged with murder because they need to investigate.
In the jail.
In the jail.
From whence he used to have domain over.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
see. This is called karma.
yeah.
Bitch.
Days before his murder trial, Mr. Cuffey makes a phone call to the DA and says, hey, can we meet? I want to run something by you.
Mm.
So the DA goes and he meets with them, and Cuffey says, I have information about Derwin Brown's murder.
Yeah.
I'd like to cut a deal.
Of course he would.
I will
sell somebody else down the river to save my hide.
Right.
Because that's what murderers do.
I will tell you what happened, but I need full immunity. Full immunity.
Full immunity from which murder?
Only Derwin Brown's. He figures he's going to get off for the other one because he wasn't the shooter in that one. His fingerprints are not on the gun.
I don't like this man.
Okay, well.
I find that murderers are very self-serving.
So the DA goes back and talks to Phyllis and her children and say, this is what we have. Now, there are no
They don't know
leads.
what he's going to say
And
either.
there are no leads in the case. And she says, as long as you don't think he was the shooter or the person that came up with the plan, take the deal.
Okay.
And the DA said, I don't think he was the shooter.
Okay.
So he goes back and he says, all right, you got a deal. So Cuffy starts talking. He says that what happened was when
I don't like this man.
Sidney Dorsey lost the election, he was so mad, he put out a hit on Derwin Brown. And he asked Cuffy to find some people to take care of that business. So they've got that statement now from Cuffy, and they don't have a whole lot else to go around, but Cuffy has given them names, other names.
Okay.
So they go back and they start right away looking at Dorsey's time in office. Because other than this guy, Cuffy's statement, who's looking, to get out of trouble, they don't have anything else to go on. And you really cannot go and arrest people just on some guy who was in jail for murder or been arrested for murder. You can't go and arrest people based on his word.
No, because they lie.
Right. So they
and they're
start kind
self-serving.
of digging into Dorsey to see, can we connect him to this, or is this guy just got a grudge because
Or is he
lost
just
his
trying
job?
to save his ass?
Right. So it turned out that Dorsey had been extorting a bonding company that was inside the jail. So there was a bond company in the jail, and he told that bond company, I will let you stay in jail, but you have to pay me a certain percentage of each bond that you do.
Kickbacks.
Right.
Oh,
So he was getting some kickbacks from the bond company. It was a female-owned business, and the owner said, in addition to the kickbacks, that occasionally he would come in and demand sex.
What a dirty
And
bird.
that she felt like she couldn't say no because she didn't want her company to go under.
So she had to go under. Oh, God.
Nasty.
That's gross.
So Dorsey's scared now that he's been found out.
And I'm just going to say right here, I'm going to make an assumption.
Okay.
It's more of a generalization.
Right.
People that have to demand and extort sex from other people typically are not the people that you want to have sex
Oh
with.
my God, no.
Yeah, okay. Just putting that out there.
So Dorsey is worried when Mr. Brown starts to do his audit that he's going to be found out. And that gives him motive. Right?
Yeah, sure.
Now we've got motive. According to Mr. Cuffy, Mr. Dorsey had gotten 3 other sheriff's deputies to pull off the hit by offering them cushy jobs when he took back the sheriff's office.
Because he's stupid and doesn't know how it works.
Right. Paul Skyers was asked to be the getaway driver. Suspecting that he was not one of the shooters and was not the mastermind, they decide we're going to pull him in for questioning and see what he'll talk about. And we're going to offer him the same deal that we've offered Cuffy.
Kevin. Is his name Kevin?
No, Patrick.
It was close.
No, not Kevin.
I don't know who Kevin is.
We don't either, but we don't believe you had anything to do with this, Kevin Cuffy. We are officially
Please
telling...
don't sue us, Kevin Cuffy. We didn't even know you existed.
No.
I just made it up. It's the Bloody Mary's talking.
It is. It
Damn
is.
Bloody Mary.
So Paul listens to the deal, and he takes the deal. And he says Dorsey did in fact order the hit. And he said 2 guys, David Ramsey and Melvin, not Dave Ramsey. No,
holy crap.
not the finance dude. This is David Ramsey.
Scandalous. Oh my God.
And Melvin Walker,
Melvin.
along with Cuffy and Skyers, had all been part of the assassination team. Paul even told them where he hid the murder weapon. So after the shooting, he's the getaway driver. They give him the gun. He drives and gets rid of the gun. He tells them where he ditched the gun, and investigators go back. It was in a ditch with the grate on it. What's that called? The the storm drain.
Okay.
Maybe.
The ditch with the... Okay.
With a grate on top of it.
Okay. We'll go with storm drain.
Yeah.
That's good for me.
And believe it or not, the damn thing was still there.
Believe it or not.
Still there. That's right. So they now have the gun. So they've got the gun. They've got all the names. 2 people now can't be tried for the crime. But they go and they charge Walker, Ramsey, and Dorsey with murder.
Mm-hmm.
The first two that go to trial are Walker and Ramsey, and they go to trial together.
Yeah, that's not unusual.
The jury finds both of them not guilty for murder.
Excuse me?
Not guilty for murder.
What the flip?
Because they didn't have enough evidence. They really only have two guys who are getting deals word and a suspicion that Dorsey had something to do with it. And the suspicion that these two were the killer. But not enough for a jury to be convinced 100% that they were the murderers.
So evidently their fingerprints were not on this gun.
I'm thinking their fingerprints were not on the gun.
Okay. That sucks.
So.
But I mean, if they're innocent, it doesn't suck. But if they're guilty, that sucks.
Right. That means that.
What do you have against Dorsey now?
None of the four. The four of the men involved in this assassination team will spend time in jail.
None of them.
For Mr. Brown's murder.
This is not okay.
So in June...
I'm not ever going to this county. I don't like it.
June of 2002, Sidney Dorsey goes to his trial for murder and corruption. And Patrick Cuffey and Paul Skyers testify against him.
Mm-hmm.
The defense calls witnesses because Walker and Ramsey had walked. They felt like the same thing was going to happen, right? But so Mr. Dorsey's team calls no witnesses because they're like
you got
super
nothing.
confident,
sure,
conceited, like almost to a point of gloating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of like.
We've got this because the other two already got off. There's no way our guy's going down for this.
However, on July 10th, 2002, the jury reaches a verdict of guilty.
Oh.
He's found guilty of 11 counts of corruption and guilty of murder.
Oh, yeah.
He was acquitted for the bond company bribery.
Why?
During his sentencing, he insists he's not guilty of murder. He says, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. He gets 23 years for the corruption and life without the possibility of parole for murder.
Okay.
But Phyllis and her sister and her mother cannot let go of the fact that the two men who were the shooters didn't go to jail.
Yeah, something is squirrely here.
So
I can't make
the family asks the federal government if they would get involved.
Sure.
Because though you can't have double jeopardy, they were tried on a state level, not a federal level.
And they can try them for attempted murder of an elected official or something.
So they look into the case, and the federal government says, we agree. We need to take these guys took down an incumbent sheriff. And the federal government does need to be involved. So they then take Walker and Ramsey back to court for federal murder charges in 2005. This time, both of them are found guilty.
Oh, nice.
And they both get life in prison with no parole.
Okay.
In August of 2007, Sidney Dorsey admits that he did, in fact, order the hit on Derwin Brown, but insists that he called it off before it was to happen.
Come on.
Right.
I mean, what'd you do? Yell out the window?
Right. So all of them, Derwin Brown, Melvin Walker, and Dave Ramsey, all got life without parole for Derwin Brown's murder.
Uh-huh.
So Sidney Dorsey, if I said Derwin Brown, I didn't mean he's the one that was murdered. Dorsey, Ramsey,
Melvin.
And Walker.
I knew his name was Melvin.
You got it. They're all done. Mr. Cuffey ended up serving 12 months in prison for the shootout that was in his yard.
Good. You know what?
But that was it. And the other guy, Paul Sykes.
He got
nothing.
The getaway guy, the getaway driver.
Or Skyers.
Yeah.
Whatever. He got nothing. So... There you go.
The devil really did
they
go down
ended
to
up
Georgia.
naming they built a new sheriff's office
Okay.
in that county, and they named it the Derwin Brown
That's sweet.
Sheriff's Office. So I thought that was really sweet. Phyllis passed away in 2006 of a massive stroke, but his children still go and speak about what happened, and there's still a lot of dedication ceremonies to this day
To him.
in honor of him.
Oh,
So,
that
and
really is
he
a
was-
tragic story.
He
because
was
this is
buried
just
in his
greed.
sheriff's uniform. They
Aw.
let him be buried in his
That's
sheriff's
nice.
uniform.
Because he graduated from the Sheriff Academy.
2 days.
Yeah.
Brutal. 2 days.
That's brutal. Well, that was a brutal one.
That was crazy.
and depressed.
I know. Have some more Bloody Mary.
Woohoo!
So, it was a great Christmas. We've started a new year.
Yeah,
We're 6 days away from our 1-year anniversary.
that's unbelievable.
Been doing this
that we've
for a
been
year.
doing this for a year, Sugar.
That's crazy.
I love it. Yay!
We're going to keep going, y'all.
We're gonna keep
We're
going.
going to see what the new year holds. We're going to keep going. We're going
We're
to,
excited for the new year. We're gonna make some goals and
yes.
write them down.
Yes, I've been told we're having a business meeting later. So
Woo-hoo!
that's really exciting. I
We
can't
might
wait to
have to
hear
have
how that's
seconds on our
going.
Bloody Marys.
I cannot wait.
Oh gosh, yeah. So there you go. We have social media.
Oh my God, we do. We really
We
do.
have social
We
media.
do. We've got a Facebook page.
Yes.
We have a Sugar Coated Murder podcast Facebook fan page.
Yeah, that's the one you really want to be on.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it if you just are like browsing around and you like the regular page, but you want to be one of our 163,
3.
but there's room for more
Oh yeah.
best friends.
Oh yeah.
That's where you just really want to be.
Yeah.
So
Some of our best friends got Christmas cards from us this year.
some of our best friends did get Christmas cards, and some of those best friends didn't even know they were getting it.
That's right.
That's right. Surprise.
Surprise. We found you. And we even had some fans send us Christmas cards.
Oh, that
which
was just
spectacular.
amazing. I know. So yeah, there's Facebook social media.
Yes.
And we also have Instagram
we're
social
very
media.
hip. We're hip.
We're at 830 followers on
Wow.
Instagram.
Look at us go.
I know, love it. And that is at Sugar Coated Murder. Very easy to find us. Come follow us and be a part of the fun on Instagram.
We also have one of those, oh gosh, what's it called? A pod tree.
Nope,
It's a pod.
doesn't have anything to do with the pod.
It's a tree.
What does
Branch.
that tree have in it?
It's a tree branch.
A tree of what?
A tree of links. It's a link tree.
Oh my God, she got it
Lord
right.
have
And it's
mercy.
only January 3rd.
We've got a link tree.
We have a link tree.
Click
and
on our link tree and it will take you to the podcast. It will take you to the Instagram.
merchandise.
Oh yeah, merchandise.
We
got
love some merchandise, guys.
Yeah, I
So.
get tons of compliments on my shirts. Our
Yes.
face mask. People are
Always asking about our face
Oh,
masks. And we've got some awesome coffee mugs out there.
We
you can
do.
get. So there's 3 different places that you can get merchandise. They're all different types of merchandise everywhere.
And they all on the link tree.
Yes.
There you go. All on the link tree.
And
the
in the link
is
tree,
key.
you can also go to our regular website, which is sugarcoatedpod.com.
Right.
And you can also listen from there. And
Oh.
it also has a link that you can buy us a spot of tea.
A spot of tea, make a donation for the podcast expenses.
Yes, buy us a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Support us going to the Sheriff's Academy.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever it is that you want
Yes.
to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah.
So all of those good things.
Come
and
find us. And
we have email. You can email us
And we
anytime.
love to get email,
We
guys,
do.
from our listeners. We love it. Even if you just say, hey, just wanted to let you know I listen.
Yes.
That's it. You don't got to say nothing
We
else.
just love it. It's so sweet.
It is very sweet. It really it gives us momentum. It keeps us going. It energizes us when we know that people are still listening out
Yes.
there and that you like us. You really like us.
Yes.
So that is
Oh.
murder
Murder. Sugar-coated.
at
Gmail.com.
.com.
Yes.
Yay!
That's
Okay, guys. Well,
it. That's it.
Happy
We're
New
done.
Year. We are looking forward to a great year of true crime and baking right here on Sugar Coated Murder
If
and
you
a lot of
have-
alcohol.
Yes. And if you have suggestions on something you'd like to hear, something you want us to cover, send us an email.
Something you want us to bake.
Send us an Instagram message.
If you want to try to be a guest, a remote guest on our podcast, we're open to it, guys.
We love it.
We don't have the corner market on this. We love visitors. We love people to join us in this craziness.
We do.
We really like it.
Come be crazy with us.
Come to Charleston and be crazy. We don't have a problem with it.
Or
we will make it happen.
We
can do it remotely.
Yeah.
We can do it all different ways. And just let us know. And
if 2021, one of your goals for 2021 is I want to be on a podcast, let us know. We can help you out.
Yeah, just send us a little email and just tell us.
You just have to communicate. Communication is key, people.
It is key, and we're going to take that right through 2021, communication.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. We want you to stay sweet.
And don't murder.
That's it.
That's right. And
That's
it's so
all
easy. But just remember, if you kill people,
we will talk about you.
And it's not nice.
Not a nice thing.
We're not going to be nice.
It's not going to be nice.
But guys, we love you.
We do.
And y'all stay sweet.
Have a great rest of your week.
Yes. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Believe. You can show support to your host by subscribing to the show and giving us a 5-star rating on your preferred platform. Check us out at Believe.com and search for BLEAV on YouTube.